Here with us this morning, and he is the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Development Company. Sir, good morning.
Kwame the Dazi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah,
too.
good to see you.
Yeah.
But you have changed small.
Yeah. It's my hair. My hair, right? Yes.
The professorial.
Hair.
Hair. Where is it?
Yeah, I've trimmed that a little bit.
Yeah.
The beard, the hair, the mustache, and as you rightly said, I yeah. I remember when I gave birth to my son, early days, one time I went out and just took my hair off. I came home and he couldn't recognize. He was running away.
When I came to greet you,
on
the other side, right? I was like, Hagla, have you gone to bring us a different professor?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, but what informed that decision though?
Oh no, sometimes you want to relive differently. So I just take that off from occasion. But most of the time, when I'm going back to England, I have to take them off because the authorities in high office would say that why is your beard so sometimes but this time I felt that let me just take it out a little bit. So
does it have anything to do with your political office or your
no,
it doesn't have
I actually don't take political decisions.
Okay.
I always take decisions by my instinct.
Yeah.
I hardly think about politics.
All right.
Very well.
All right.
So
I know some people who got into public service and decided to
look differently.
Ras Mubarak had dreadlocks, and then when he went to parliament, he took them off.
Of course, I mean it's always to be
and Ras Wayo too.
It's always to be conscious. It's good to be conscious and aware of your space.
Great.
But that is when you think that perhaps there could be some some implications. But
sure.
For this thing, I don't think so.
Awesome. It's been a year since you were appointed as CEO.
Yes, way March. So a year and a few just a month. I think I was appointed in January 28th.
Okay.
If I remember.
Okay.
The letter is January 28th. So by February 1st, second week, I had gone to the office.
Wow.
So approximately a year and 1 month, if I should put it.
How has it been? 1 year.
It's been amazing. It's been very revealing, Yeah, I think especially from my side, obviously having taught political communication, political marketing in school, it's given me a very deep understanding of the political studies area.
Wow.
Piecing the literature or the theory to the practice, you could see the synergies, and then of course you can understand the politician better.
Okay.
So I suppose it's giving me perspectives that perhaps because I hadn't lived it, it wasn't there. That is not to suggest that there is a misalignment between the theory and the practice, but I think there's a better appreciation of the theory. And I think I thank the president for that opportunity. Because obviously you get the space to practice and to directly influence. Obviously, as a lecturer, you still influence and you still play a part that you want to, for the country. Now it's a different direction, a different dimension. And I think I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it?
Absolutely.
So now you are on the field. Are you learning certain things that will maybe help you
teach better,
propound new theories?
Absolutely, you can imagine that.
From the new experience.
Absolutely, as a lecturer, you don't stop writing. You don't stop learning. And I tell people that my assistant, who has been amazing, Rachel, has a what do you call Excel sheet for me.
Okay.
Which I designed day one. recording almost every bit of me in my movements. You know, yeah.
She does that.
Yes, she does that every time. We're in constant communication. Rachel, please schedule this, schedule that. So I've got about more than 200 plus entries of my time in office. And certainly it's going to go into a book. So, yes. So I record my footprints, you know, because you couldn't be an academic without having a trace of what you have been doing. So I'm loving it. Yeah.
Let's do some education here. What's the difference between the Ghana Tourism Authority and the Ghana Tourism Development Company?
Absolutely. I call the authority the mother agency. You know, obviously it was a board that translated into the authority. In fact, before the ministry, there was the board, which is the Ghana Tourism Board. That became authority. So the authority is what you call the compliant agency.
Okay.
I mean, they're responsible for certification, compliances, regulatory frameworks, and of course they are also responsible for the promotion, which is the bigger picture of attracting people to the country. So the authority has that responsibility to go out there and say, hey, we're Ghana, these are what we do, etc. Come to the country, right?
Yeah.
And then of course they ensure that you also comply with the regulations, you know, in terms of quality, in terms of your responsibility towards the state, you know, etc. Now, GTDC, which is my office, is responsible for commercialization. You know, we are, so to speak, the commercial arm of the ministry.
Okay.
I.e., we're supposed to go into the market with a product and services and sell it to the people, you know, for return.
Okay.
But also we are responsible for investment, you know, attracting investment to the tourism space.
Okay.
That side of the agency has somehow, you know, reduced a little bit because of the times, all right? The agency was set up in 1972. Obviously, since then, you have had GIPC, which has become the mother, so to speak, investment driver. And that actually somehow reduces the potency of GTDC.
Okay.
Right?
So GIPC was playing a similar role as...
It was set up in, I think, 90 something onwards.
Yeah.
So obviously GTDC is older.
Okay, yeah.
But it's much more focused. GTDC is much more focused in terms of tourism.
Yeah.
Whereas GIPC, which is Ghana Investment Promotion Plans, is much more bigger.
Yeah.
All right. And so you would have a lot more people making references to GIPC, whether it's in hospitality, whether it's in tourism, whether it's in construction, whether it's in manufacturing, than people making references to GTDC.
Okay.
Because one, it's old. So if you're old and you do not have the muscle, the power to assert your authority, then people forget about you, right? And so it's been a forgotten child for so long that it's an investment arm. Right?
Okay.
So I tell my team that because of the peculiarity of the time, we probably have to reframe what we say is our mandate. So for me, I see the GTDC's development and investment role as being a trend setter. You see, we set the trend. What is now new in tourism and hospitality, that we can actually show the private sector to then come on board.
Okay.
Because if you look at the character and the behavior of a private sector doesn't just invest anyhow, right? They invest based on profitability. So
exactly.
If you invest in there, you don't see profit. You don't. But of course, as a state agency, profitability shouldn't be your hallmark. It should be part of your existence. But most crucially, directing the traffic or showing the path. It might not be profitable today, but it would be pathfinder, for others to follow.
All right.
So, in as much as we are responsible for investment, and as I said, our strength has somewhat reduced a little bit. Mm-hmm. We are careful in identifying spaces that perhaps in future can benefit the country, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. So since you assumed office, have you noticed any shortfalls or gaps in the operations of GTDC?
Plenty.
Did you? No, not have you. Did you notice any of such things when you assumed office?
Immediately. I mean, as I said, there was an old ways of doing things, right? And I must say that I'm a very deliberate person in terms of reform. My mindset is always about reforming. I'm always looking at things and thinking, how do I dismantle this and do it differently?
Yeah.
Right? So when we came to office, had engagement with industry players, and these people, I've been with them for so long. Obviously, as a lecturer, I teach tourism marketing, so I've been dealing with all those guys. And so, but then when I went to the office and saw the operations, I realized that I had to do it differently. Because, for example, if you have to go to, let's say, WTM, which is World Travel Market, right? And then you go in there with bits and pieces of papers and or PowerPoint presentation and say, oh, this is what we're looking for, this is what we have and things. These day and age, people don't look at these things, all right? Because then your presentation is amazing, but what's the evidence? Do you get it? So I said, okay, let's move digital. So let's build digital portals where we can profile investable tourism areas. And then you can project it. And you don't even have to travel, all right? You can be in your home country. These days, those of you who understand what we call search engine marketing and search engine optimization, you can use technology to showcase someone tourism opportunities in Ghana without necessarily being at that conference. All right. Okay. Again, I said to people, yes, GTDC is supposed to help in tourism development, but do we have the money? We don't. All right. So assume that the president says,
you don't have the money?
No, we don't. I mean, that's a very practical reality, right?
Okay.
So let's assume that the state has 10 million, all right? And don't forget, the state cannot have, resources in abundance. It's always limited. Do you get it? So let's assume that the president said, I can give you 10 million. And they said, okay, let me use that to help the tourism sector, all right? And I say, Kwame Dazi, come for 1 million, so come for another million. You will not be sufficient, right? So how do I make sure that I can still support the development of tourism with the scarce resources that I have? Okay, let's build a marketplace, all right? Let's put everybody there and let's throw the light on those vendors on the marketplace.
I've seen all those things you are doing, and we will take them one after the other.
That's right.
Yes, but I'm also interested in the funding bit. GTDC doesn't have funding at all from government?
It's company. So
it's a company. Yeah, so you're supposed to fund your activities.
That's correct.
How do you raise funds for your activities?
So if you're a company, you go to the market, isn't it? You develop products and services that would make people buy and then use it to operate. All right. So like every other company, you're not supposed to be subvented, government, then it defeats the purpose of the company. All right. So if over the period that revenue handles aren't developed, then you're farming the company. You're literally collapsing it. So over the years, there hadn't been that deliberate development of revenue handles. Do you get it? The existing ones were actually in a very precarious positions, like car rental, for example. If you have a car rental as your business and your fleet is just one car, and very old car doesn't work, or you have a tour company that has no, supply chain or value chain model, then suddenly you don't have a company. So the revenue handles were not existent And so the company didn't have money.
Wow.
Simple as that.
Wow.
So now we had to, obviously with the new government, new thinking, the philosophy of researching should really, kick in and for us to develop. So we're developing new handles to make sure that company is profitable.
So let's get into the things you are doing. The tourism marketplace is one of them. Okay, tell us what it is.
Okay, so the Ghana Tourism Marketplace is a simple idea. Maybe people can contest it, but I see as a marketer and, somebody who is a professor in marketing should understand that I don't think that we actually have the tourism market in the truest sense. And I will demonstrate that. Why do you go to Makola? Let me ask you, why do you go to Makola Market?
To go and purchase.
Exactly. So the women and then the people who actually sell in the Makola Market, do you likely know or would you know their names or their shop names before you go? Most of the time, no.
You just go.
But you're sure that when you go there, you can get your plantain, you can get your cassava, you can get your... Do you get it?
Yeah.
You might even forget that you wanted to buy jawar. Fantis, we have something called jawar, right? It's a salted fish that they put it in the soup.
Morning.
Why the morning be some baby?
Is it different from kako?
It's not kako. It's different from kako, but that one is tender, very soft.
Oh, okay.
So assuming that you go to the market and you forgot that you have to buy jawar, right? Suddenly somebody might pass and you'll be like, oh yeah, I have to buy this, right?
Yeah.
That's our marketplace as well. So in terms of marketplace, I tell people that the tourism space is somewhat, I don't know how to put it, but people don't know. If I tell you to mention 3 tourism companies, would you be able to tell me? Travel companies. Or even car rental. If I say mention 3, you will struggle because it's not your usual conventional market that it's only those people who are within the space, can know who exist. Assuming that, Adam's friends are coming from the US and he has, I'm looking for a tour guide. He will struggle to identify a tour guide unless, somebody leads you and somebody leads you. Let's say that you want to go to Uncle Ebo White's play.
Yeah.
Fantastic man, right? His production amazing.
Yeah.
But he uses a short code. You're going to struggle to remember the short code if you're not an ardent, follower, right? And so these are the limitations. So I say that, okay, why don't we put all of them on one place? So that if you think of going for theater, that when you go to the Ghana Tourism Marketplace, you can buy a theater ticket. Simple as that.
Okay.
If you have to get a tour guide, that when you go to the Ghana Tourism Marketplace, you can find tour guides with their profiles and choose out of them.
Okay.
Do you get it? If you have to rent a car, go to Marketplace. You get a car there. Just like if you want to buy kakro, you go to the market, you're going to get it. So you don't necessarily have to know the businesses, their names.
Yeah.
You know that when you go there, you find them. Currently, as we speak, they are in a very separated worlds, all right? Everybody else, Mumin has his, short code.
Yeah.
Uncle Ebo has a short code. Latif has a short code. Everybody else, I'm saying, okay, let's put everybody together. Now, if your friends are coming from the US, go to the marketplace, you find everything. You can find a car renter, you rent a car, you can find a tour company. Oh, I want you to take my people to Asiniman, so you can find a tour guide. Oh, I'm interested in you. Everybody else is there. Okay. Even if you forget that there was a service you were supposed to procure, in the marketplace, you find it there. Now we have even calendar, Ghana Tourism event calendar.
On there?
365 days, all events are there.
Really? How did you capture
it's online,
that?
Just go there.
How did you capture that?
Yes, so that's what I say that I think I think reform.
Okay.
In my mind, we have to reform this country.
Yeah.
And that's what the president talked about, reset. So we need to be deliberate and ask ourselves, what are the things that we're doing? What are the things we're not doing? How do we reform it to suit the time? So I get a call from Professor Kosia, who we vibe most of the time, one of our emeritus, distinguished professor emerita.
Yeah.
And she says, Kobby, my friends are coming from the U.S. They want to go to National Theatre, but I've been searching for a ticket. I can't find the place. I said, Prof, I'll do it. And that is when I had been into the office. Now I have. So when I did it, I sent it. I said, Prof, we've done it. I said, wow. So now you can go to the marketplace, go to events, and click on events calendar. Boom.
Okay. So
January to December, we're populating it. Ideally, the event organizers have to populate them because you create the account, and then whenever you do your event, But people are not doing it, so we are now doing it for them, so that hopefully when they start, they'll. I know that it takes time. I'm not in a hurry. I know that, but I'm in a hurry though to make sure that I can fulfill what the president says I should do for him. All right, but I mean that. Sometimes it takes time for people to build interest into something.
Yeah.
Right? So I know they will come around, but in the meantime, I'm appealing to people. Whatever you think that has to be done in tourism, we're doing it. Just follow us, and then
What is the address?
GTM Ghana Tourism Marketplace is gtm.com.gh.
Okay, gtm.com.gh.
You'll find the entire marketplace there, and then go to events, and then you see event calendar sub. Then you click on it, you will see all the events.
All right. There. Do you have an app for it?
It's a web app.
It's a web app.
In development.
Okay.
There are two things.
Okay.
Apps are for people who think they essentially need a daily activity. The moment they find that they don't need you, they delete it. And especially the young people, the moment their phone is full, they can't host their phones, their pictures, they will delete your app because they need to create a space for their pictures, right? So you don't start with app in development.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm into the space.
We know.
So you start with web app to get people interested, and when they find that this is useful functionally for them, then you move into app, because then you have caught their excitement. Their interest. Then you found it there, the marketplace. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then when you go to events, drop down, you can see event calendar. So when I get the people's attention and people start, adding it to their calendars, planning, etc., we'll move into app. But for now, it's a web app.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just go gtm.com.gh.
That's correct.
Ghana Tourism Marketplace.
Yeah.
Go there, have a look at this beautiful website. Yeah, this is event site.
Then you can see.
Okay.
And they drop down. There's a calendar.
Wow. Okay. There's even the rate attached to it. This is beautiful. Okay. There is also the Ghana Tourism Investment Platform.
Yes.
How different is that from the
that is for our investment. So we're saying that 261 districts in this country, the president says we should attract tourism investment in this country. Now, as I said, we have to judiciously use the resources that we have. So I cannot be flying to go to events, conferences, to investment conferences, etc. So how smart can we do it to make sure that we are judiciously using government resources?
Okay,
let's create this. Now, if you have an investable tourism space in your area, your district, or your hometown, call us. We'll come and profile it. Okay. We'll take photos, take drone shots, and then write an update. What is very important is about the profile that we link to the event, the space. So, for example, before we set off, we take the coordinates from the road, right? The road coordinates. So from Accra to wherever we're going, we take the coordinates to measure the distance of road that are tarred or that is tarred. Then immediately we get to an untarred place, we take the coordinate again to measure untarred places.
All right.
And then when we get to the township, we'll again take the codes, all right? Up until the time we get to the site, so that we can profile and say 360 kilometers of the road is tarred, 25 to the location is untarred, and then we'll test the internet strength.
Okay.
So we'll test the internet works. We'll make sure that we check water, whether there's water in the area in terms of conventional water, and then alternative water sources. So we do all this and we profile it. So you know that if there is an investable tourism area in Kumeu, the distance from Accra to there, this is the distance of road that is tarred, distance of road that is untarred.
Right.
And then we'll give you update on trunk roads, access roads, etc. We'll give you update on internet, etc. And then, of course, we tag whether it's ecotourism, leisure, etc. So currently, I can pull reports real time and tell you the percentage of our tourism space that are ecotourism.
Okay.
I can pull reports and tell you the distance of our road to tourism spaces that are tarred and untarred. And so the good thing is that I can sit here and be marketing our investment plan. In fact, if I show you the analytics, it shows you we are being watched in Japan, we are being watched in Germany, which means that these spaces are people who are perhaps having interest in that. So once we see that, then we tune the analytics, the search engine optimization to, or we do online ads, Google ads, etc., into those spaces, hoping that people would get to us and start asking about, I'm interested in Akosombo, etc. So that's the investment platform.
Great. So the tourism investment platform is there for investors into the tourism industry.
That's right, both local and international.
So if I want to invest in a certain part of the industry and I go on the website,
the Ghana Tourism
Investment. Which site is, which address is that one?
It's called investintourism.org. It was deliberate.
Invest in tourism. So it sticks.
That's right. Okay. Call to action. We want people to start thinking investment. So investintourism.org.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you find the portfolios. The packages. In fact, we went to Mia. Mia is in my area.
Where?
Mia is in West Region. When you go to Hunter West, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. You go and check. We went there to profile a property that is being up for investment.
Wow.
You will love it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's on there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, we've been to Akosombo, we've been to Galosota. Galosota is Professor Wosonu asked me to, he's my old boss, St. Augustine's College.
Okay.
He contacted, in fact, he was one of the first people who contacted me when I came to office and went to his village. They have a beautiful ecotourism space.
Wow.
With some amazing, goats, black goats, only black goats in the bush, not in town.
Bush.
I'm telling you, things that are in Ghana, you will be surprised. Ecotourism.
I see.
Goats, they live in the wild, and they have a certain height. All of them.
Like tall.
Certain height, no, very, certain height.
Short. Okay.
There is another village. It's also in Volta Region. It's called Lagoon, Avro Lagoon or something. It's on there. It's on the profile.
Okay.
They have a certain animal that lives in the water and on land. It's like a deer. It's so rare in the world, and we have it. It's on there. And we're looking for investment to set up an observatory system where you can watch. They come at night. So when they emerge from the lagoon, you can see them. And when you check online, they're very rare animals. Few places that are in Ghana has it. Exciting things. And that's why I said I'm enjoying my
Prof,
stay.
Take us through the process. Now I go on to investinTourism.org.
Yes.
Okay. And then I want to invest in a part of the tourism industry.
That's right.
So where do I go on the
Okay,
on the
so
website?
you go there, investinTourism.org, and you go to investment briefs.
Okay.
So investment brief, you go there, then so far we have 17.
Yeah.
In fact, we've written to all the district assemblies.
Okay.
We're waiting for them to be going to their spaces. We're not getting the needed response. So we now have written through our ministry, written to the ministers, all the 16 regions, that they should assemble their, MCs and DCs for us to go and show them. So when you go there, you see currently 17 profiles.
Okay.
Then when you click on said, we'll give you an overview of what that area is. And then you go there, you can also see the location, the topography of the land, whether it's a rolling hill, whether it's a valley, etc. And then you see the tourism type. Okay. Is it for beach tourism, leisure tourism, etc.? And then you have infrastructure update. So electricity available, internet if it's not available, we'll put unavailable. If it's stable, unstable. Treated water, regular water, alternative water, maybe tap water, and stream or river, etc. And then we'll give you update on the road infrastructure, trunk roads, town roads, access road. So trunk road, for example, the one that I'm looking at, bitumen asphalt, 258 kilometers from Accra. Town road is gravel chippings, 59 kilometer, and then access road, which is rough road, 20 kilometers. So we'll give you the update. And then we'll give you development plans, what we think you can do to make money.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll tell you that, and we'll tell you the attractions there. Then we'll give you photos and videos, for that area. Yeah. For you to be convinced that indeed this opportunity exists, right? Now, we also have partnerships. So we tell you about organizations that you need to contact before you start your investment. Oh, okay. So, for example, we tell you about Ministry of Tourism, which is my ministry, Ghana Tourism Authority. Obviously, you need
regulators.
Yeah, so we'll put their regulatory. So we'll put the regulatory frameworks there, so that you would know what you must do before.
All right.
Then we tell you about Office of the Registrar of Companies, their procedure, Forestry Commission, because our work most of the time borders on Forestry Commission. All right. Then Ghana Investment Promotion Center, which also for that. Then National Investment Bank, NIB, and then Development Bank Ghana. So we give you all the regulatory environment for you to appreciate yourself with the work and how long. But then we'll walk you through if we have to contact us and say, I'm interested in investment A, we will do the footwork for you. And then eventually we'll compile your dossier and send it to our minister that this person has expressed interest.
Wow.
We've checked you are fit and proper person, your documentation, etc. Then our minister will take it forward. Obviously meeting the proper, not proper, but the requisite,
the right
agencies, etc. And then, of course, if there are any other implications, then your foothold. So we can do all this before you come down if you are from abroad.
Yeah.
Right? And which we have had a lot of diaspora ask us, and they've invited us to the hotels, etc.
Some people have shown interest already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a World Trade, people came to World Trade and they contacted us and we took them through, this. We had diaspora, African American come. They invite us to their hotels. We do presentation to them. They're amazed, they're bringing teams in July for us to take them through. So, and then on LinkedIn, we've had a lot of inquiries from LinkedIn saying, I'm interested in this particular area. There's an Akosombo, on the Volta Lake, there's a 50-acre that they want to use it for resort. We've had people sending interest, etc.
I think the place is Avu Lagoon.
Avu Lagoon, yes, Avu Lagoon.
Okay.
Amazing story. If we go there, amazing. And so we're looking for investment for. So you can imagine setting up an observatory that people can put in token and watch.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Beautiful.
Now, when you go to New Find and they invest in, let's say that you have found an investable tourism area in your village, you can go to New Find and give us the lead. Type your name, etc., and tell us that you have this. We'll call you.
Okay.
And then follow through and then come and capture it. But if you have the devices to do a very good visuals for us, we don't have to come there.
Okay, you just do it and then you send it.
Exactly. And then we can actually adapt it and then put it on the platform and inform you that it's on there. We involve you in the decision making going forward.
Okay. So I can see on the website, I can see login and register.
That's right. So that's when, if you want to give us information, whether you're a district assembly, the district assembly registers, and then they upload their materials for the investable tourism areas.
All right. Yes. So if I'm an ordinary citizen, I have seen a place, do I need to log in or register before I submit the file?
Yeah, because we want to know that there is a data on you. Okay. We can call you.
Wow.
You have we're on our file. And if we have to involve you in the decision making, etc., we do.
A friend of mine drew my attention to something. He's in the eastern region. He's called Jasolo. A few months ago, he said there is an old slave marketplace in the eastern region near a Dukrum called Abonse. Abonse.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Yes, and he's expecting that maybe by now we would have gone there to develop that slave market into a tourist
Fantastic.
site.
So it should get as a lead. We can come there and cover it, and then we can put it up for investment matching, looking for, investment.
Okay.
I always say that we should look at it from this way. Government would never have enough resources. So the resources we have to optimize it. You can imagine everybody else finding spaces they want it to be developed.
Yeah.
So it can only be done one after the other. So that's why GTDC is there to look for private capital.
Okay.
To invest in this. So when we go there, we're asking ourselves, okay, should someone develop this place? What else can they add in terms of return? So they can build a hotel there. They can build let's say, a restaurant there.
Yeah.
They can build observatory systems there, etc. In order that they can achieve their return. Because tourism is business. It's not just about let's develop it, let's go there's a cave and then no. The cave must mean experiences. All right. And it must have a certain return. So we, as from Ghana Tourism Development Company, cannot say we're coming to develop it, all right, because obviously the budget is so limited, all right. But we can set it up for investment, all right, both local and private, international. Currently, we are going for Kwewu Business Forum.
Okay.
Yeah, we've registered and we're going.
Beautiful.
We're going to tell people how locally, if you have money, where you can invest in tourism. We're at Africa Prosperity.
Okay.
Did the same thing. Amazing people came to see. So wow, they didn't know that these are opportunities there. We're hoping that when we go to Kwewu Business Forum, there are people who really have resources that they're looking for spaces to invest, and they would be shown these areas.
Wonderful. Before I let Ernest and Adam come in, let's talk about the Accra by night.
Yeah.
How has it been?
Fantastic. It's been amazing. I mean, now we're having corporate. It's now almost like corporate bonding times.
Yeah.
Accra by night, which was our first program that we launched, had been ongoing.
Yeah.
Ever since. And now organizations actually come on board, for their bonding sessions.
Okay.
Obviously, we're still having the diaspora, come on board. In fact, in December, we sold almost 90% of our Accra by night tickets on the GTM. Yes.
So it means it's been very effective.
Absolutely.
About 90% of the tickets on the platform.
Yeah, people were buying from Lisbon, from New York, from France. Yes, on the platform.
Wow.
Yes, and so we sold. I mean, we now sell the ticket on the marketplace, and it's been amazing. I mean, people are having, Kwame Nkrumah, for example. People buy tickets from the marketplace for Kwame Nkrumah Museum.
See.
Yeah, you have plays, as I said, theater, everything else. So the Accra by night has done two things for us. Not only revenue generation, but brand building. It's been so popular that through that, people know GTDC.
Great. Great.
In the past, it wasn't like that. But
do you have the numbers?
Yes, we're getting. In fact, the last Accra by night, we had about 45.
And by numbers, I mean, can you tell us in quantifiable terms how much you've had
the revenue
in terms of revenue?
No, in terms of revenue, the Accra by night is not meeting the cost, but it is our strategic brand. Strategic because it's a brand building.
Okay.
The reason why we're not meeting the cost because the bus is only one.
Oh, only one bus.
Yeah, we have only one double decker.
Yeah.
Only one double decker. So whenever people express interest, and we don't want to jump pack it because of a lot of things, security reasons. We always have police on it, but people don't see. We have 3, non-uniform police.
Yeah.
Obviously, we will have to pay for the bus.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay for the driver. We have small jobs that we give us, etc. So you can imagine if you have, let's say, 40 people on board, all right, against the cost items. But it's a strategic brand for us.
Yeah.
Because we need to get new offerings in the market, which has come as a new offering. So now, whenever you're in the country, you know that aside your regular things, you can experience Accra after dark.
All right.
Right? And then, of course, the yellow bus feeling, the jamming in the bus, etc. So it's so strategic for us to get it going. But we believe if we have to get more buses, that, we can break even. And, of course,
Are you looking forward to maybe taking it to other places in the country?
The technical bit of it is that, it's a double-decker bus, which means that you have to be aware of the pylons, the electricity lines. So actually, even in Accra, it's well demarcated where we have to use it. So when people say, "Oh, bring it to Kumasi," etc., I said, "Okay, we will do it." But these are the technical things. So we have to do a recce as to where we can pass with the bus.
All right.
Otherwise, security-wise, you're going to be in trouble, right? And then again, because it's a double-decker bus, we're not sure about hilly places, etc.
Yeah.
We're being wild in our thinking that what about Ebri? We can go to Ebri Mountain and say, hang on, can the bus scale that height? So all these are the technical reasons why the bus is still stationed in Accra.
Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, we would have been wild in our exploration,
Great.
But let's see how it goes.
Okay, it's 103.9 FM Daybreak Hit. Here with us is Professor Kobby Mensah. He's CEO of Ghana Tourism Development Company. Yeah, and we're having a conversation on tourism development and investment. Before Adam and Ernest come in, let's take a breather. A two. Prof is here with us this morning. Amazing talk.
I've really enjoyed Prof. But I'm not surprised because we used to call him when he was deeply into political communication and all these things in the newsroom. So when I heard that he's had disappointment, I was happy for him because there are certain people when they get an opportunity, they can deliver.
Great.
So you just have to support. I'm not surprised what I'm hearing, but these are things that until today, some of us didn't know.
Yeah.
All these while. So what were we doing? Because these are information that will propel people to get involved in terms of tourism. So if we don't highlight it and people do not know, it will be difficult for them to follow. When he started showing us the various platforms and all these things, Adam went on it, and I was surprised that so all these things are there. How many people are going there? People might know outside the country, but when you talk about intra-tourism, how do we,
like domestic tourism?
Great. How do we entice people to do that? Apart from schools going for excursions and one or two places, you go to the zoo and Nkrumah Museum, you go to Ghana Monuments Board and you see some of these things, the gallery and all these things. Now, Eden said something, maybe I have to take it out of his mouth, about the assemblies taking control or contributing to the success of some of these things, because all these tourist sites are within certain assemblies. But I don't know whether they don't know the financial benefits of developing those places or they just don't understand tourism. Because if every assembly is to take charge of the tourism sites in the area and to contribute to that, I think, it will bring IGF, and apart from that too, it will bring a certain spotlight to the community. People will come there to invest. It will bring jobs. It will even enlighten the place. But we are not seeing that. That I would like to find out how engaging are you with the various assemblies, because these are ideas that you need to pitch with them, so that they can take control and also push you guys.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are right. I mean, since we started this, we've done a number of engagement.
Yeah.
Obviously, within the sector, we've done stakeholder engagement. But we've written through the, my friend at the, is it Lord's Place? I always get confused. The head of
Where?
Public, the Lord Mensah's place.
Professor Lord Mensah.
Yeah, it's a head of a public. Is it Public Service Commission?
Public service.
Is it public service?
Yes.
Okay.
Now the name I always forget is
Public Services Commission.
Yeah.
No, not commission.
It's a commission.
Those he's responsible for the the district staff.
Yeah.
And those workers. Yeah, we've sent local government services. Yeah. I always forget.
Local government.
Yeah, his place. The name is too long, so I always forget.
I remember Nana Tuata some time ago.
So we sent letter through their system, to inform them, and then to invite us for us to come and cover this. We've not been so successful with the return, so we now went through our ministry to send letters to the regional ministers, asking them to organize the DCs and MCs, so we can get them through. We can take them through the portal and how to, So we are hoping that will be successful. In fact, my chief director called me yesterday about the distribution of the letters, and we are hoping that maybe that angle will be successful than the previous initiative.
But I'm also thinking that you can easily use the local government ministry because they fall directly under.
That's what we use in the first one.
Yeah, so that it will be easy, because if the minister commissions them to do that, you don't have any excuse. You do that, and that will make your work very easy. Now, after promoting our tourist sites, one problem we have is access to the place. Having access. You were talking about, capturing whether, the data, where it's tired, where it's not tired, and all these things. We've had so many complaints about tourists who come, and getting access to where they want to go becomes a problem. So it becomes an incentive, so that the person wants to go to so many places. Looking at the person's time, there is no much time, but getting access to the place. By the time you go and come back, you're already tired.
It's as if you're in my classroom.
When I Show Speed came, it was visible. Looking at the days he spent or the time he spent,
he couldn't even go to other places.
The places he wanted to go to, it would have been easy if we had alternatives.
Yeah,
like
let me tell you
system.
one of the big impact of the local aviation. Just the point that you made. One of the biggest impact of the local aviation on our tourism. Until then, a tourist come to this country, they have to spend not less than 2 weeks to properly enjoy this country if they have to go to Kumasi, etc.
No.
Now somebody can come here 1 week and then be able to, which means that if we get our road networks perfect, that would even be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because those days, you can only drive to Kumasi. You can only drive to Takrady, all right? Now you can airlift. You can fly to Kumasi, but then obviously the road to the other places are somewhere. So the point that you're making about, transport infrastructure, very, very crucial on the tourism space, right? Because if you are well connected, in fact, tourism is connectivity. Someone, and I always say to people, look, how many holidays do we have? It's what everybody, most of the time, most countries is about what, and some 28 days, isn't it? So you can imagine that British has 28 days leave, and they decide that they want to spend 1 week in Ghana and go to elsewhere. Those days they can only spend their 28 days in one country, right?
Okay.
Now, because of connectivity, they can decide to spend 3 days in Ghana and go to Benin and things like that. So we really need a connectivity to increase or to expand.
That is where the marine drive comes in, because it was something that was promised that when it starts, it will also help. Instead of going by road, you can go by sea, and that one too will be very easy. train system also play a role, so that it wouldn't be by either by road or by air alone. We have alternatives.
Yeah.
And I'm pleading that you work with the assemblies. Now we have drip machines, which is meant to make our roads more travel. You can speak to them so that they can aid in making our tourist sites, the road to the place, at least be in a certain shape that will fasten the journey and all these things, at least interimly, to be a stopgap, so that. But I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Your system is good. It's more like a machine to engineer the tourism sector, but we need to work more and find alternatives so that people will be very happy to go.
Absolutely.
I, for one, I would love to be to any tourist site, so many of them. But how do you go?
And there's one thing, even from what you're saying, there's another particularly important thing.
Okay.
Sanitation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially middle class, you ask us, why don't they go to the stadiums? The stadia, right? And even beaches, etc., because of sanitary systems, right? So to speak, toilet systems, infrastructure, etc.
Yeah.
And so we've begun what we call VIP, Visitor Experience Enhancement Program, focusing on sanitation, so that we can say, okay, you have no problem when you go to Vuli waterfall, because the point is, you will not engage in tourism without eating, drinking, and they come with stomach upsets, So we need to solve these problems so that people would have confidence in our spaces. And so we look at critical areas and then try to do something there to ensure that we can...
Yeah, talking about that, then community engagement comes in. Because the person who is coming to sell the food should also know the role he or she plays beyond just making profit.
Of course.
So that the person will know that, okay, I'm cooking for people to come and eat, and the recommendation they give will not only affect me, but will affect the whole tourism sector. It's an ecosystem. So the person knows the role he or she plays. I remember where December in GH, we had interview with GTA, and they were pleading with drivers to dress good and also be polite, because a lot of visitors are coming. And how you treat them, the recommendation they give would determine whether other people will also come or not. So all these people are we are all part of the system. We should know, but it will come from you, the leadership. You should engage the people to understand that without them, it will not work.
Absolutely.
And the role they play is key, so that they can all align.
Absolutely.
For a successful, plan.
Fantastic.
All right, Adam, take the mic.
I'm very happy that we have somebody who knows and understands the space at the helm of affairs. That's why it's always good to get people who understand the space to be at the helm of affairs, because it makes the work easy. Because some of the things he's talking about, they are fundamentals which should have happened long ago. GTDC has been there for a long time, and these are fundamental things which should have been done long ago, so that we will now be flying on the foundation. But now he's now laying the foundation. It's like all of these years.
Are you sure there was no foundation at all?
I'm talking about the things he's talking about. Like a country like Ghana, officially, what stops us from having a tourism marketplace where all those in the ecosystem can, put their products there for easy access. And with a state institution, a state company, a build trust among others, and they invest in tourism platform. It's a very laudable initiative where we are projecting some of these investment opportunities to the rest of the world to see how they can tap in. Some of these things should have been done earlier, especially if we want to prioritize tourism development. You understand? Because by now we would have been somewhere. And on the assembly people, I you see, at times, these are some of the problems too with the assemblies. Some of the assembly leadership, like the MCs, DCs, they are not innovative and they are not looking for opportunities to even tap in. I'm not sure, even prior to Prof developing this platform, an assembly, an MC or a DCE has reached out to GTDC to understand the opportunities and what they do to see how they can align the assembly. I mean, most of our assembly people are sitting there waiting for common fund. I mean, they are not looking for, a few are looking for opportunities. You understand? It's about time that they need to change their mentalities, because some of these tourist sites in their area can create a lot of, they see job creation only in building factories. But some of these things can help solve some of their unemployment situation in the assemblies. And your factory, guard, oil, and other things in Kwa is the only way to create employment. So they need to look at other places. Now it's 17. I think they need to be proactive. And I'm sure with more campaigns and others, a lot of them will come on board. So if you are an MC listening to me right here, this is an opportunity to tap in and open your community up for investment. So get in touch with GTDC and make this happen. And also, recently I saw GTDC. I was there at the University of Ghana, open a campus tourism office. What is the objective of that initiative? And are you going to other universities after Legon? What do you want to achieve with that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Adam. I think that the GTDC campus, and that's why we call it GTDC campus, is nationwide. Obviously, we have to, again, look at resources and how strategically we can position it. It's a collaboration between us and the university.
Okay.
You know, it's a conversation I had with my VC when she wasn't a VC, you know, about some 8 years ago or 5 years ago, yes. So we talked about, you know, Legon is an attraction. You know, Legon is a destination, it's a heritage. How do we coordinate that, you know, for a brighter purpose? And so immediately my appointment came. She picked the phone and said, Kobby, and this is something you can, you know, so hence, you know, the GTDC campus. One, if we want to talk about domestic tourism, spike in the interest, then of course we have to start with the youth.
Great.
And so we have to get closer to them and then develop or, you know, work with them to develop tourism product and services. Over the years, then they would actually get into that vibe. You know, when I'm teaching my tourism students, I tell them, if you don't go on tour with your partners, you end up divorcing early because you don't have you know, talking points. You know, you can only be gossiping, you know, after Sunday. You know, but when you go on tour, you have a lot to say.
Yeah. Just
like when you go on plays, you know, when you attend the theaters. Look, there's a reason why these things are there for our welfare. If you go to, you know, a theater, and then you go and watch,
I told you so.
Oh wow, you remember Kositi, Nasam Noken? You know, you have a lot of talking points, but in most of our homes, they don't have talking points because they don't participate in these things. What will bring is divorce.
The worst scenario now is everybody on their phones.
On phones. But if you spend time at the theater and you go and watch I Told You So, you have so much to talk about. Your children will be, hey, I like this scene. I like that scene. All right? So we feel that when we take the tourism office to the students, we can help them groom them. And we can particularly give them their first travel experience.
Good.
All right? At least 5 West African countries.
Awesome.
Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso. And then we can spice it up with South Africa or Kenya. You know, of course, you might think about a cost, but that's why we're working to see whether we can subsidize it and give them that travel experience. And I have my particular joke I tell my staff. I said, look, everybody wants to fly. Where do you start from? You have to start growing your wings. All right. So on campus, you grow your wings. You know, you get to know. it's open between universities and national service. After national service, you're not part of our.
Oh, nice.
We call it C2C. That is campus to countries program, just for students and national service. After that, you're not part of our set, right?
Okay.
And then, of course, help the universities to attract international faculty for conferences. People don't know, but the university is a whole market for tourism. Now, we organize countless of conferences on campus, like, for example, the Geography Conference, the College of Humanities Conference. We need international participants, but because the universities are focusing on core mandates, they can hardly do the marketing of it. All right. So when we take that part, we can then market for international faculty to come, which is part of our MICE, meetings, incentives, conference, and events.
Yeah.
But also we can organize the tour package. So we can say today there's a I told you so at National Theatre. In the evening after your conference, we sell you tickets on campus, and then we take them there. You get my point? So we can take Paddy Key to go and do sip and paint on campus, helping the student to grow their artistic experience, etc. There's so many things we can do on campus. It's a whole market. Don't forget the international students who are there. So the campus, GTDC campus, is a collaboration between the university. The university has been very forward-looking. Hopefully, we can open the tower. The university tower. We are discussing with the university to give us access, so you can pay to go. Currently, I think it's the highest observatory in this country.
Okay.
All right. So you can imagine going there, and I was discussing with a friend of mine trying to buy binoculars, the high-range ones. So you can go there and watch the ship, on the seas. Fantastic scenes from the university. I mean, you can see the Accra plains.
Yeah.
If you're there. You can imagine the beauty of it, So, and the university has a African Studies Museum. They have archaeology museum.
Yeah.
There's a botanical garden. That university is a whole heritage.
Sure.
That we can put together for tourism purposes. Then, of course, I've already spoken to my colleague Professor Ishmael Mensah at UCC. So that will be our next.
Great.
And then KNUST next.
Great.
And then we're going.
Awesome. I told you so, man. Fifi man. We will talk about I told you so.
Profile Fifi on the marketplace. And then on
wow.
So we spoke about it. So
nice. Fee.
This is my second time with Prof. The first time we had a discussion about doing site-specific experiential performances at these tourist sites that when people go there,
absolutely,
there's a live. So every Thursday when you go to the Kwame Nkrumah, there's an enactment of a sort that we all can enjoy. So you sell tickets accordingly. So people who are coming there every Thursday, they know for a fact that there's a show. And then for me as a producer, I know that I can find every month I have 4 shows at this particular site that I can get. So Wednesdays are here, Tuesdays we are at the Jamestown observatory. Let me just say the Watchtower. And all of that. And these are things that I still think we should look into to draw, still bringing in people for that experience that we want them to feel when they go to these tourist sites. Just a segue on that one. The Accra by Night, I hope it's coming from Legon. Like that's where you took the whole.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We want to own it. We want to own it.
That's where people do their auditions.
Bro. Code inside. 2 things, Prof. So number 1, it's about people identifying sites and reaching out and say, I have found a space like this. I want to believe that there's some due diligence that goes into, because I just figured if somebody found a place and just wrote to come and said, I found this place, it's a slave trade in the Eastern region, come and document it, come and make it a site. What are the processes you go through to first authenticate the story or what the findings are? And is there is there a way to now start drawing the history inferences from the space? Because when people go, they want to hear stories. They want to hear what happened here, who passed through here, and all of that. How do you collect all of this information to back up the new site that you have found? That is number 1. 2, so you can tackle all of it. 2, I find our museums very boring. And I find our tourisms, like the drive arounds and all, they're very boring. I want to. I don't like doing, but let me just, for instance, when you go to Robben Island, right? There are these buses that picks you up from, right? Like as soon as you get to the island from the ships, get to the buses that picks you up. The people on the buses that tells you about the history of Robben Island. I have never. You give them like I don't even know. Like everybody just goes into their pocket and starts just giving, because of storytelling. There's a style and a system of storytelling about the space and the place that do not even make you feel like they take you through the emotions of what happened there, and then you laugh, and then they tell you a history, and they tell you how your country is part of this one, or how that person was part of this one, and then they know names of places and all of that thing, and it engages you the entire trip throughout the whole island. You're blown, and then when it's done, no one will ask you to pay for something, and it's all of these things. Are we training whose responsibility is it? Who are the people we are engaging to be telling these things? Because I've been to the Castles Covenant project and all of those things, and you go there and then it's just like maybe you catch them at the wrong time or like, I'm going to tell this story again. Okay, fine, this is my group, let's go, people. So this is where they bring them first, they keep them here, and then they move them. It has to be shrouded in a certain level of storytelling that makes it appealing for people to want to be in a space and understand what is going on. And I think finally I just want to say it's a great job that you're doing with the site, everything. The people that you sent out though, so just a quick one. We talked about putting it there, and I asked the person that what are the traffic numbers like to the site so far? Like you want me to put a product on the site, right? But what is the traffic like? Are people actually going there? What are the numbers you're receiving? So I will know that, when I put something here, I know for a fact that this number of people are on the site at these times and all of that. So it actually, I'm getting something from it.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. So firstly, the sites that we are profiling, we're not developing them by ourselves immediately. So we are, as I said, we are doing investment matching. The ministry has 13 agencies. Each of them has their role. So, for example, GMMB is responsible for the museums, etc. When it comes to developing the site, then they will come in terms of authentication, etc. All right. Obviously, GTDC and GTA would ensure that even from the day one when you hit the axe, they have to look at how the building process should be like, etc. All right. So each agency has the role that they play.
Okay.
In the tourism space. For now, although we have that development, I tell people that it is not only infrastructure development, but knowledge development. For example, again, setting the trends. For example, right. Currently, our focus is profiling the investable tourism areas and matching them to investors. So if you show interest, then we'll link you to the agencies responsible. So now we say, okay, GMMB, you have to come in. Then we have to authenticate the story so that when the tourists are going there, we know that there is certain authentication that has been done. That's one. Now, two, in terms of the knowledge stock of our tour guides, as you mentioned it, there has to be a continuous development, and there is. Obviously, the Ghana Tourist Tour Guide Association, they have a list of registered, accredited tour guides. Yeah. Now, I know the current GATOF president, Seth Okran, and myself, and Hotcat, Hotcat.
Yeah,
that is
the
hotels and tourism training. Yeah. We're developing modules that can facilitate comprehensive knowledge stock of the tour guides. I have said that there seems to be that connection that isn't there between our universities and the agencies in the manner of the training. All right. So, for example, if you go to the Earth Science, Department of Earth Science, they can tell you stories that you have never heard about this country in terms of the rock types, etc. I think I've said it to you in one of the shows.
Yeah.
If you go to Busumchi, how did Bosimche come about, all right, the meteorite that hit the country, that hit the site, and the splash that some of the stones got to Cote d'Ivoire, and they will show you, it's in their labs, they will show you these things. Amazing, fascinating stories about the drifting of Brazil from Ghana. That Brazil was joined, and people ask me, hey, so would have been neighbors to Brazil, they can walk into Brazil? Yes. And then because of the Atlantic, drift, obviously, first of all, the breaking of the earth into 7, and then the drifting, led to certain separation, etc. These stories, you can get them from the scientists in our university campuses, all right? And so we're developing the geographers, etc. We're developing what we call continuous professional development program, so that we can increasingly get the knowledge stock of our people, at a certain level, to get the quality that we are looking at. Of course, there are top-notch tour guides in our system, but as I mentioned, there's no marketplace to find them. So you find it difficult to identify who can give you the top-notch, etc. But if we put a system in place where you have a 1-star, 2-star tour guides, I've done here, I've done there, you can almost measure what someone is going to give you when you have to contract them, right? So there's a lot of development we can do. Of course, they've done some in the past, but we have a lot more to do, working in concert with each other.
Okay.
And so myself and Seth, and then Eric, who is now Dr. He's now a Dr. Eric.
Okay.
I call him by the same name. I struggle to mention. Yeah. We're working on something to make sure that we can enhance.
Yeah,
the
I know,
quality.
Doc, see, I do understand that part. That part is the purely book part of it. The purely intellectual part of it. So you have all the, because people. You can, some professors, they do know their stuff on their own. They're very great at what they know, but to impart it to other people, it becomes an issue. But they are professors. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that knowing that information and all of that is one thing, and being able to engage people, and talk to them about it, so that it doesn't look very bookish. Like
So
it's
a
another
collaboration.
Yes, and here's you can look into this, right? There are storytellers, and then there are students who are graduating from the school of performing arts and all of those.
Yeah. Okay. No. What I said was an example.
Okay.
No. It wasn't that. It was an
okay,
example that. Of course, the school of performing arts is part of the university.
Yeah.
So we're saying that bringing these sources together to enhance the
storytelling.
All right.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
All right.
It was an
Fee, are you done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Robert Sklar.
Yes, boss.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Now that you are here, you can ask your questions.
my dance colleague.
Your dance colleague.
Yeah.
I thought you say your dance students.
All right. So just to throw some light on what Fifi is saying.
Yeah.
So quickly, when I was in Kenya last year, I went to the museum.
Yeah.
And the people who took us round explaining to us what was in there were students. So what it means is that they have first-hand experience in terms of having learned exactly what is in the place, and they're learning how to do presentations. And so they were taking us around and giving us insights, in the space. So if we're talking about
students of what?
Students of their university who are learning something with respect to tourism.
Okay. Okay.
So then it means that you've actually found a way to deploy what you're doing almost immediately. Now, in that particular light, it means that you are also building on something you can call career development. So the question here is GTDC only interested in site development, or GTDC is interested in other forms of tourism development, or the entire value chain? I'm asking this because I would like to know what they are doing with respect to empowerment, career development, the intangibles aspect of tourism.
Okay.
So, for example, there is dance tourism, or let me say festival tourism, where you have festival being the reason why a lot of people are moving. Is it something that they focus on as well? We have sports. You have like different forms of tourism, or different drivers responsible for the ultimate goal of tourism.
Great.
But the entire conversation felt like it was focused on sites.
Okay.
So I want to find out.
I'm on the same philosophical trajectory with him. So that's what informed our re-engineering of our mandate.
Okay.
This is when you read our mandate. It was one, tourism development, etc. So when we came, we re-engineered the mandate to break it into 4 areas: development and innovation, development and investment in tourism innovations.
Okay.
Then we have cultural assets.
Okay.
Then we have human capital empowerment or development.
Okay.
Then we have infrastructure.
Good.
So we broke our mandate into 4, so that makes it much more visible.
All right.
And that's why I talked about, working with my other colleagues. Because if you take human capital, for example, it sits with Eric, Dr. Amofope, right?
Amatope.
Yeah, it sits with him.
Yeah.
Because it's Hotcat. But GTDC also has interest in that. So that's why I'm working with him and Seth Okran of Gatov.
Okay.
So that we can do that part of the tourism. Again, when you look at, what you call infrastructure, is a multi-agency. And that's what we're talking about, the district assembly, profiling of the sites, etc. And then digitalization, the platforms that we're developing, the innovation, the things that we're talking about. In fact, even when it comes to center of the world, we're conceptualizing some innovations.
Okay.
But of course, we have to step one after the other. Right. So I'm definitely in the same philosophical mindset with you about a holistic tourism development, including linking the campuses, doing the trainings, etc. That the Kenyan story that you talked about, the GTDC campus is going to be, the tour on campus is going to be done by students, archaeology students, theater arts, obviously, African studies. So many resources on campus that we can deploy. Again, getting them the hands-on experiences and then building their competencies, etc. So it is exactly the philosophy that you hold, that I hold.
Okay. So having mentioned that you are aligned with the philosophy and then there are 4 specific areas if you break them down, and obviously you can't do everything at the same time. What are your priority areas, so to say? Because then when we do understand, it becomes a bit easier. So I know MICE is a big industry worth trillions, so to say. And if you are also focused on infrastructure, then it means that there might be areas of that particular, development that you are interested in. I don't know. So it would be nice to know the areas of priority so that
the first priority is reorganizing the tourism space, and that's why the marketplace. You see, when we talk about infrastructure, it's not only about physical.
Okay.
You also have the intangible, or you have support. Infrastructure is support systems, all right, so to speak. When we say infrastructure, road, because road will facilitate movement, all right. It will facilitate connections, and that's infrastructure. So when we do the Ghana Tourism Marketplace, we have provided a very comprehensive infrastructure to facilitate connectivity, supplier demand, supply demand, intermediary connections.
Great.
All right. When we do the Ghana Tourism Investment Platform, we facilitate the investor and then the investment opportunities, coming together. And so our first priority, and because of our situation, that's why our first priority is the marketplace. Why? Because GTDC, as I mentioned, is not subvented. We have to internally generate our money, all right, in order that we can do other things.
Yeah.
So if we have to focus on other things that do not generate us revenue, we cannot perform. We'll halt. We'll bring the place to a ground, right? And so let's tackle areas that can help us raise the resources for us to then move on. That's why we started the marketplace, etc. In order that we can start raising some monies and then move into other spaces. So now from here, we're moving into the VIP, which I mentioned, the Visitor Experience Enhancement Program, providing sanitary systems at tourism places, And as we go along, then we're moving towards other spaces.
So there's sort of like a roadmap with specific areas of
Absolutely.
concentration.
Yeah, we have our 3-year strategic plan.
Is that open to the public?
The 3-year strategic
Yeah, like
plan.
that kind of plan.
Oh yeah, the market, the document is there. We shared it at the the stakeholder engagement that we did. Yeah.
Okay, so my last question has to do with the investment packages or it's more like you're opening opportunities for investments. What are we doing with respect to the local investor?
That's what I mentioned.
Yeah, he mentioned.
We attended the Africa Prosperity. We are attending the Kobby Business Forum. Almost every local gathering where we can find people who have some money resting somewhere that they want to invest, we are tapping it. And if you know some people who can help, just direct us. We'll go and do presentation and show them opportunities within the space. Yeah. So when we say investment, we don't mean people who fly into. No, we have to actually focus on homegrown.
All right. Solomon Amu says, Professor Kobby Mensah taught me relationship marketing at the University of Ghana, and trust me, he is good. Indeed, he knows his stuff. We have this comment coming from, I think it's a birthday shout. Let me quickly do this one. It says, good morning, Kwame and Miss Avio, the entire Daybreak Hits crew. Kindly help me wish a senior brother and mentor, Mr. Efosa Olubumi Igehon. I hope I didn't butcher the name. A happy, blessed birthday. God bless and keep you safe all the days of your life. May you be celebrated everywhere you find yourself in Jesus' name. Enjoy your new age, my boss, from Joshua, Fifi, Wisdom, and Nana Kwame. Another one here from Arod says, today we celebrate the incredible Juanita Na Ode Ofori Jidudu, Chief of Staff at Q Africa Social House, and we Metamorph, Executive Director of the Mind Wins Foundation and CEO of Wearables by Jidudu, wishing her a very happy birthday filled with joy, success, and endless inspiration. Happy birthday, Juanita. Okay. Before we say goodbye to Prof, so what footprints do you want to leave after the expiration of your tenure?
I want to make sure that we have a very organized tourism market.
Great.
A place where people can immediately go and get access to everything tourism and hospitality.
Great.
And as I mentioned, I want to make sure that we can fill our national theaters.
Awesome.
I want to make sure that we can fill our tour sites.
Great.
I want to make sure that we can capture the data of the people who are coming to Ghana in December. I want to make sure that, as the president said, 365 days in Ghana as a Black Star experience.
Great.
So I want to make sure that whatever information that you need, whether you're coming to Ghana in January, March, or April, you can tell, when I come to Ghana in March, I'm coming to watch. I can watch I Told You So.
Yeah.
All right.
Activities
there. So in my mind, 360-degree offering of tourism space is what I want to leave. And that's what I'm solely focused on. In fact, I tell people when I came into the office, I've only traveled once. That once, it took the organizers mountain to move me. Because I like to focus so much that there's no distraction.
Great.
And I link activity to revenue. I link activity. I will ask myself, okay, this thing that I'm doing, what's the effect on our money matters? So that I can judiciously use the resources that the president has given me.
Awesome.
For the betterness of the sector. So
awesome.
A very organized tourism space.
Thank you very much for coming. We'll be following the activities of the company.
Thank you.
And then hopefully we bring you back here.
Kwame the Dazi.
Prof.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, with all the things you've said, clearly shows that Ghana, Yawazoye.
This is Hits.